is your Ultimate Fitness Training, Jet Fitness, and today we're doing another video in order to become our greatest version. So today's video is about the so-called sort of world of fitness that we live in, and people talking about diets, nutrition, supplementation, strength training, bodybuilding, functional training, CrossFit, running, all sorts of different training. However, what we really want to do, really, ultimately, in each department, in terms of whatever fashion you're training, is becoming basically fitter, healthier, happier version of yourselves. And what I find is, spending almost 20 years coaching people, mentoring people, and training people, what I find is sometimes we fail to realize the structure of which one must have in order to become that greater self of yourself. And what I mean by that is, a lot of us out there, obviously, we go through magazines, Instagram, Facebooks, internet, you name it. There's literally information out there that we all can obviously read and understand. Now, one thing I find is a lot of people read a lot of stuff, tell a lot of stuff, tell a lot of stories, but failing to obviously back up with some sort of scientific element. Now, what I find is, obviously, you can say the same thing. Okay, Carlos, you talk a lot about a lot of stuff. What's the scientific proof? Now, the scientific proof is years of studying, years of reading, years of experimenting, years of experience. And indeed, me, like many other trainers and mentors and coaches out there, because I'm not just a trainer, I'm a mentor, I'm a coach, so I do a lot of different things in terms of our psychological support, also as well as coaching and helping others become greater versions. This is why I say become your greatest version. When people basically work with me, it's not just about physical. Anyone can train anybody, and nowadays, if you are a half decent trainer, you can train someone. Now, the other part of our job, which is massive, which is probably a good part of 80 to 90%, is really mentoring the person, making the person accountable, and really coaching the person throughout their own goals. But what I mean by this video is, a lot of us out there, obviously, some of them obviously are training very hard, fantastic, but then we are eating shit. Okay, excuse my language, but it's got to be said, we are eating really badly. Now, there's a lot of guys out there say they're eating very well, but they don't train so well. There's other guys out there, they're training well, they're eating well, but then obviously they take a lot of bad substances, of which is not the video for, but obviously they take a lot of steroids, they take a lot of drugs out there, and those drugs ain't gonna make you the stronger version of yourself. I'll give you an example. I was talking to a guy the other day, and he's been a bodybuilder for over 20 years, and he was telling me, this is nothing against bodybuilding, because the training I've done with many people and training I do with myself in terms of weights is very much bodybuilding based. Nothing wrong about the bodybuilding sort of world. However, a lot of these guys, as you guys know, fortunately or unfortunately, they take a lot of substances. Nothing against them. Obviously, I've got friends of mine that do that, and fair play to them, they get into great shape. But however, when they get to the 40s and 50s years of age, you'll probably see a lot of these guys, and whether they like it or not, if they really tell the truth, they will tell you they'll start having a lot of problems. And the problems can lead from kidney failure, liver transplants, they start having heart problems, they start having joint problems, because remember, our bodies, whether we like it or not, and this is something obviously a lot of us kind of like live in denial, our bodies were not made to squat 5, 6, 7 plates. Obviously we weren't, okay? We were made to literally fight for survival. Obviously we are better to become stronger, obviously, better to become fitter and healthier, and more mobile, of course, and healthier, but we are not supposed to squat 5, 6, 7 plates. It's just not what we're supposed to be doing. Obviously we're supposed to squat, but not those amounts. Imagine our weight-bearing weights, joints, ligaments, tendon, connective tissue, muscles. We are not supposed to hold our weight. Imagine like some guys obviously squatting some crazy amount of weight. They start having problems, medical problems, physical problems, psychological problems, because then obviously what happens is once they stop doing what they so think they can do, all of a sudden they start having psychological problems as well, of which then leads into a down spiral. And this is what the reason why I'm doing this video is just basically to touch up with some of the guys that perhaps just missing that element of really when we start training. I mean, I'll give you an example. When I was a very young lad, for the guys that don't know, I used to be a footballer, so obviously my very much training was very much so to become stronger and faster. okay? Obviously, naturally, I'll develop my body anyway, but my goal really was to become more stronger and faster. So my focus really was for that, okay? I didn't particularly want to be massive, and but obviously those things, obviously when I started playing football, then obviously you start obviously growing a little bit more and doing a little bit more weight training, and then you develop muscles. But one of the biggest things I think a lot of us fail to understand is when you start beginning to train, most of us obviously we want to become more muscular, stronger, and obviously a lot more fitter. But then what happens is this: when we actually begin to become bigger and stronger, eventually we start realizing that the stuff we take in is actually making us weaker, because there's no point you holding on to 20-30 stone body weight of which your joints are aching, your heart is about to pack up, your liver cannot actually function, your kidneys can't function, and that, to me, that's not becoming your greatest version. To me, it's actually becoming your worst version. And then this, going back to the conversation I was having with this guy the other day, you know, he's been training for 20 years, he's got all sorts of different problems. Obviously, to the eye, you probably see this guy, and he's actually admits himself, to the eye, if you see him, you think, wow. But then, this guy's got loads of joint problems, this guy's got loads of heart problems, this guy's got loads of kidney problems. And when he's 60, you look back and think, why have I done this for? And this is not a knock-on effect or a knock on any particular fashion of training. But I think what we need to realize is, if you want to become your greatest version, I think it's a lot better for us to become healthier. Obviously, if you get big and stronger, healthily, and you're getting big and stronger, yeah, brilliant, absolutely brilliant. I'll give you an example. I've got a client of mine, he's 82 years of age, and I'm not necessarily he's bigger, but he's stronger. He's more mobile than he's ever been. He's fitter now, he tells me, he's fitter now than what he was when he was 50. So he's 82 now, and he's fitter than when he was 50. So to me, that's 5, 6, 7, 8, so it's 32 years that this guy has basically caught up. To me, that is becoming stronger version of yourself, fitter version of yourself, and ultimately healthier. That, to me, that's what has value, because if you're getting older and you're getting bigger and potentially stronger, but then you're getting a lot unhealthier, and eventually as a knock-on effect on your long-term longevity of your life, to me, that's not becoming your greatest version. And this is why I had this debate with this guy, and to be honest with you, fair play to him, he agreed. He said, listen, Carl, this is something that we kind of embark, and he's quite a very, when I say this, he's a very intelligent guy as well, and he said, listen, it's just we embark on this sort of life, and whether it's pressure, whether it's you know, like enthusiasm, whether it's you know, I mean, competition, we end up ultimately doing it. And I understand that, because a lot of the times, obviously being a competitor as well, sometimes obviously if you're amongst people that compete, we want to be the best, and obviously to be the best you need to take the things that the best take. So hence the reason why a lot of these guys end up taking things that potentially they know is harmful, however they take it because it's what people do. And I understand that, and I really respect that. Obviously, as I said, I've got friends that do those things, and it's brilliant. It's a fantastic sport, bodybuilding is, and it's great to see those guys develop to an amazing sort of structure in to show the human body. But a lot of the times, if you actually look back and see the detrimental effect that those things, those substances can do to us humans, sometimes you start actually measuring versus effort versus benefits, and how long it's going to be and how long we can be here in order to live a longer, stronger, healthier lifestyle. I'm not sure. So this is why I think we need to probably understand a little bit more, especially the guys that are young now, and obviously start looking on these magazines, start looking more, not so much probably magazines, but Instagram, Facebooks, programs on internet and YouTubes, and you name it, it's all there, to understand really, is it worth it? Is it really worth it to do these things in order to become a little bigger? And then there's a massive knock-on effect on your 1, body, 2, health, and 3, really mentally, and that will then obviously measure really whether it's worth it. But anyway, there's another video here to catch up with you guys. Obviously you know where to find me, which is Carlos Trainer 10 on Instagram, also on YouTube channel, which is Carlos Trainer. And as you guys know, I always come from a very humble place. I'm not here to tell you I'm the best and no one else knows anything. It's just me. No, it's not. There's lovely guys out there. There's loads of people that have got a great amount of detail, information, stuff that I'm learning with. I love it. But as you guys know, I'm a trainer, I'm a coach, I'm a mentor, and I love to help people become their greatest version. So with all that said, guys, stay happy, stay healthy, stay fit, and have a beautiful day. Take care.